Hello everybody, and welcome once again to another episode of John's Rockin' Vinyl 77. This time around, we're going to go through some more heavy psychedelic hard rock stuff. In the background right now, we are listening to... As I get through my stuff really quickly. Here we go. We're listening to Boomerang. From the last, part 2, I showed this. Just an excellent hard rock album. Definitely check this out if you haven't heard it yet. Just excellent stuff. Right now we're listening to Cynthia Fever on this album. Just a great song. And, so let's just start there. And, right off the back, I'm just gonna say, it might be kind of crazy, some of the stuff that I show, but it's all stuff that I got over years and years of collecting this stuff and digging really deep into psychedelic hard rock stuff and blues rock and underground rock and music of that time period. It's just a great genre and it's a great thing to get lost in. So right off the back, I'm going to show you this one. Brother Fox and the Tar Baby on Capitol Records. This is kind of more on the Psych. There's some fuzz elements going on. It's pretty heavy for the time period, for the 68, 69 time period of this record. It has some kind of Led Zeppelin-y type moments, some really nice vocals, really good guitar playing. Check out the track Still Dog Man. This album is kind of in the same vein as let's say a Steppenwolf, or maybe even almost Blue Oyster Cult. I know that might be kind of a weird comparison, but check this out and listen to the vocals and listen to the lyrics and the guitar tone, and just check this out. Check out the song Still Dog Man, like I said. Just an excellent track. And this is on that fabulous green lime Capitol label, that early 70s, late 60s, early 70s Capitol green label, which is just so rare to find nowadays. Just such an excellent album. Check that out. And it's in the shrink wrap. I got that sealed. Up next we have a little Volcanic Rock by Buffalo. This isn't a first pressing. This is the reissue on A Karma. And this is what the gatefold looks like. And this album is famous for having the phallic cover. If you notice, what he's holding right there doesn't exactly look like a rock, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, it also has some kind of... What does that look like right there? Pretty explicit stuff, but anyway, just besides the album artwork, just a killer, great hard rock. Almost very much in the vein of like a Black Sabbath, proto metal, just killer stuff going on here. I'm almost certain that most everybody's heard this album. Just a great killer album if you're interested in that kind of music. Check this out. And this is what the label looks like. That's the label. This is the opposite side. And it has a custom label. That whole album, that's like almost a perfect album in my opinion. Up next, let's go with another classic hard rock album. Budgie, Squawk. Just a classic, great band. Their first 4 or 5 albums are just hit, man. They just kept doing so well. And this is probably the least famous of the early albums. This one, unfortunately, gets criticized for being kind of a copy of Led Zeppelin. But there's a lot of great things going on this album that people don't realize. It's just an excellent album. And this is a sample copy. It has the little promo sample copy sticker. Check this out. If you dismiss this album because of what people say, don't listen to them, man. I know the first one's like the one to get for everyone that's a fan of this type of music because it's super heavy, but this album is just so killer. And like Stranded just has like this killer guitar lick opening, and it just shreds up and down. It's crazy. Really awesome album. Check it out. Up next, let's go with some Fat. From the album cover, it kind of looks like it's just going to be your standard Americana rural rock album, but this, it does touch that, but it has a lot of heavy psych elements and blues elements. Check out the song Country Girl, for example. Just an excellent album, in my opinion. A band straight out of Boston, Massachusetts, right up where LJ lives. Just an excellent album. I recommend, like I said, check out Country Girl. I picked this up at a record show for right around $22 about 3 or 4 years ago. Just an excellent album and an excellent example of some quality American hard psychedelic hard rock. And there's the record label on RCA. And once again, one of my favorite labels of the time. And up next we have a little Stepson with their debut album from 1974. And this is just right up Garner's alley, man. If you're not familiar with this album, check this out. I know you're into the blues, the hard blues, and this is right in that vein. Check this out as soon as possible. If you haven't already, I'm sure you have probably. But this is a band that features ex-members of the band Touch. And Touch is just a great group as well. In kind of psychedelic music. Just another band to find. And this is on the ABC label. As well as being having members from Touch, it also has Joey Newman on guitar from the famous Blue Mountain Eagle band, who famously only had one album. Very interesting stuff on this album. Definitely in definitely in Garner's area. This is going to be a great album for you to check out if you don't know it. And this is what the label looks like. But check out songs like Rolling the Book and Suffer. Just excellent tracks. Up next, once again, man, another killer, heavy, not really heavy, more just in the blues vein, like I was saying. This is the group, this excellent, this band comes from the San Francisco area, and this is their album Blues Vibes, and just great, like the title represents, blues rock. Check out tracks like Tobacco Road. They do a great cover of that song. And there's a track called Bay Bridge Blues and Chilly Woman. Just check out all those tracks. Just excellent blues tracks, blues hard rock, and some psychedelic elements, and some kind of psych elements. Just check this out. Great stuff going on here. And this is one I picked up sealed. It's still in the shrink wrap, just because I love to keep my sealed records in the shrink wrap, if at all possible. The shrink wrap's in good enough condition too. Well, let me show you the label. It's on Sire Records. Fantastic stuff on that. And up next, we're going to dig even deeper. And this is going to be a story, quite a story to tell. This album was one that I thought I would never, ever, ever find. This is an album I've been looking for forever. It's such a rare album. I never thought I would ever find this album and get it for a decent price. But one day I was just in Salvation Army, and a guy noticed that I was looking at records, and he mentioned that he had a record collection, and that he was willing to get rid of some stuff, and he had some of the stuff that I was after, because I was talking to him. I said, you know, how I love the hard rock, heavy psych stuff, and he said that he had a lot of that kind of stuff, and I went over to his place, and he had all kinds of great progressive rock type stuff. So much great stuff that I didn't have enough money to buy a lot of stuff. I only picked up one item. But is this item, or is this record, an excellent record, and one I've been after for such a long time? And I paid a fraction of what this album usually sells for. It usually goes for between $350 and $450 all day long on eBay and other websites. But anyway, this is what the album was. I was shocked and awed when I came across this. Just such an amazing find. Here it is, Blackwater Park's Dirt Box. This is a German band that was unfortunately lumped in to that krautrock rock era, that sound, and this is just that straight up hard rock stuff going on here. Not a lot of trippy or, you know, the standard spacey krautrock type stuff going on here. This is just straight up hard rock. And another thing that's unusual about this band is it actually featured a English vocalist, and the rest of the band was German. So that could possibly be why the music isn't such, you know, your standard hard rock, you know, of the time. But this album is much more than just your standard hard rock. This has a lot of very early proto-metal elements going on. This is what the gatefold opens up and looks like. To be such a fragile album cover, this is in great condition. This is just a fantastic album, and I'm so happy that I have this. It's actually pretty amazing. I'm still pretty much shocked and awed right now. And I picked this up a few months ago. Just such a killer album. And if you're looking for some new music to check out, this is a great album to do that with. Check out tracks like Indian Summer, and definitely check out, if you're a fan of proto-metal, check out the song Rock Song. It just has an amazing break in that song that'll that'll drive you nuts, man. It'll make you, man, it's just such a great album, and I'm so excited to have this in my collection finally. It's definitely a Grell find to me. Probably the most expensive and most collectible album I have in my collection at this point in time. And here it is once again. Blackwater Park's Dirt Box. And the record just finished, so I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. See what we got here. Last, but definitely not least, this is another one of those Grell finds. This is one I paid a bit for. This is one that I found. This is the second most expensive album I ever bought. And Blackwater Park is the most expensive I ever bought. And this is just such a killer, heavy, hard, American hard psych, hard rock album. Granicus. Original first pressing. The vinyls and the cover is like mint. Look at that cover. Just the one cutout. Such a beautiful album. Great album from the Cleveland, Ohio underground hard rock band. And this is a one and done album. This is the only album they made. At least in the 70s. Eventually they would... Hello everybody, I apologize for that. My camera only records in a 20-minute interval, so I had to come back to this video because the camera basically died. So anyway, like I was talking about, we were talking about Granicus. Granicus' first album, and first and only album from 1973. And I was saying how eventually they would go on to record new material, which was already recorded in the 70s, which is very confusing, but that's what happened. So anyway, here's Granicus, and that's just about all I have to say. I mean, if you guys don't know this band, check it out. Great, great, great hard rocking stuff. This album is one of my favorite of all time in general. Like, this is probably in my top 10 or 15 favorite albums of all time. That's how much I like this album. And man, the vocals, the guitar playing, everything on this album is just superb. Check it out if you're into 70s hard rock, especially like Led Zeppelin and, you know, stuff like that. Definitely heavy for the time period. Great stuff. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys saw something you've never seen before. I hope that I made you guys interested in checking out new music, and hopefully I showed some neat things and interesting things that you guys like. From what I've heard so far, I've been getting positive feedback, and I really respect that from everybody. Thank you guys for watching my channel and watching this video. I'll have a new vinyl update video up pretty soon. I have some new stuff I want to show, so until then, see you guys next time. Bye.